So the audio is up and running now because I turned the power on to my speakers, so that's important. So welcome everybody as well. Very, very cool. Let me just make sure it's up and running on my suit. There we are, about time. So very cool. Hey, that's a bit funny. Hey, there's some fun stuff for Christmas for you. We got Solix in the house, Boxing Day for Axion. And then Solix says, most people from Hex, and most people know Hex, and of course, and what is going to happen with Pulsechain, of course. They are waiting for Snapshot, and when Pulsechain launch, some will invest after in new projects like Axion. I am one of them. Yeah, I think there's a lot out there like that, Solix. So very good observation. Solix says, many people are waiting for their duplicate ERC20s. Of course, there'll be PRC20s. And of course, that's why they are not investors in Axion at the moment, says Solix. Yeah, that's a good point. No sound, says Solix. Yeah, got the sound on. I forgot to turn the power on. I had everything on, everything set up except for my my speakers turned on. It was pretty hilarious. Oblio's in the house. Say, Oblio, good to see you. Burn, baby, burn, Oblio. We're going to do that later on. And John Atkins in the house, Axion token member. Very cool. Hi, Superman. Everybody says, John, it's great to see you. Kevin Wilson in the house as well. Another Axion token member. Hi, everybody. Good to see both of them in the chat there. So very, very cool. Let's get into, we're going to get into the accelerator. Then we're going to get into the making of Axion as you know, the world's best staking ecosystem. We're going to talk about that, talk about strategy. We're going to try and clear some stuff up with the future of how the Axion ecosystem is expanding. We're going to have some positives here and there. We're going to talk about stuff like that and just some of the questions as well. And of course, I ended up having a good discussion with one of the team members in the Axion, and that was quite useful. So I'm going to you know, just not talk about specific stuff that I talked about, but just a general picture there. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. It's going to be pretty cool. And then we're going to get onto obviously Axion price and a few other topics like that as we get into there, folks. So hold on to your hats, grab your cup of tea, and get in there, folks. Because cheers, man, this tea's good. That is hot tea, and that's very nice. So get in there, folks. I bet somebody's going to ask me what kind of tea it is. That's going to be a bit of a task there. So very cool. All right, so here we are on the accelerator. Of course, this is the main product of Axion, where you stake and buy and stake and get all the big benefits up front as an investor. And man, oh man, it's looking pretty good. We're going to talk about the price because obviously price influencing a little bit there. But normally we start off with 375 million. Yesterday we were sitting at 98% when we did the live stream. Or 93, 98, 93, one of those two. I think it was 98. And of course, today we're sitting at 41. And obviously the price has had an impact on that, but at 41%, still great. And we've got 12 hours and 40 minutes to go. 375 million in the bonus pool has gone down to 152 million, and that's a pretty cool result. Nevertheless, regardless of the price. So very, very cool. Let's go in. Of course, if you want to get into the accelerator, then the link is in the video description. If you want to also learn about Axion, do your investment due diligence before investing through the accelerator, and go and check out axion.network. And that's also links also in the video description. So pretty cool. That's really for new investors out there, not the seasoned pros, which are part of the Axion community already. Very, very cool. And once you, of course, you have any further questions, get onto Axion Discord or Telegram, and 24/7 help there from the Axion team, the best service in crypto, and they will help you with any questions that you have before you decide to invest. Very cool. And obviously the price of Axion at the moment, very attractive for new investors. So you can pick up a lot of Axion and get your stakes in, start earning the sweet APY as well as wrap Bitcoin dividends that you can withdraw at any time. So pretty nice. You also get a particle NFT, which is a nice bonus, a chance to 10x, up to 10x your stake. So you get a 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, or a 10x on your stake. You got a 1 in 25 chance of winning that once you put that through the other product on the platform, which is the Collider. So that really is a bit of an introduction for new people. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Let's get in here at the moment. We've got 248 million Axion sold. That's the best result so far I've seen for some more time. Obviously, price playing an impact there. $15,569. Very cool. The burn, a massive 120 million burn. So even though the prices are a bit lower than it was, or quite lower than it was, the actual burn is really positive. So that stuff goes off the market for good. So that's kind of a cool upside. The amount of wrapped Bitcoin to pay the stake is 0.077, $3,800. That's pretty good. Let me just get into the chat, make sure I'm up to date. We've got Crypto Casino in the house. Hey, morning all. Hey, Crypto Casino, great to see you. And Crypto Casino does a wonderful job of promoting AXION as well. He's one of the 4 main content creators on YouTube at the stage, and he does a wonderful job. Just hit up the channels tab here on AXION Token, and you'll find Crypto Casino. Go subscribe to Crypto Casino, and you'll get lots of great updates from Crypto Casino as well. So big shout out. Hope you've got your McDonald's coffee there, Crypto Casino, for you the day ahead. Nicholas Lucino's in house. AXION is going to be huge. Is it a or huger? I think that's what it is, Nicholas. It is. It's going to be good, and we're going to talk about a lot of that stuff in the future as well. Nicholas says NFT Galaxy will be a game changer. Yeah, I'm looking forward to every stake in AXION is going to become a Galaxy NFT with its own custom Galaxy representing the parameters of the stake, like the size of the stake, the length of the stake. So we're all looking forward to that, and they've been tweaking that for sure. Lalang's in the house. Hey, Lalang. Always great to see Lalang in the house. Big shout out to Lalang. Hey, hello, AXION family, and Sir Superman. I like that, Sir Superman. That's pretty cool. Big shout out to Lalang. And JMT's in the house. Can AXION stakers get in the pre-sale for the new fork? So there is no new pre-sale for the new fork, but there is going to be an AMA coming up in about 9 hours, I think, maybe 10 hours. So you've got to definitely follow that and ask any questions about the warp and how that relates to AXION. You can ask all those questions there. I'm sure they'll be happy for that. Crypto Casino says, "Ha, Superman, yes, McDonald's coffee in the hand. Last day of work as well. Woo-hoo-hoo. I remember you were saying you like 3 or 4 days of work, so this is your last day. I hope you give it that 410% with that coffee powering you up and get that work, kick it out before Christmas. Very, very cool." JMTC Crypto says, "Okay, yeah, that's very cool." Yeah, the warp, the OHM warp. OHM fork warp is going to be a fair sale. It's going to cost pretty much, I think, $250 a part. You need 3 parts to make a ship. That's $750, and then it's a race on to get to the planet first. You need some fuel boosters in that, and you have to get to the planet. The first people to get to the planet get the highest APY. I don't know how we don't know all the details, but maybe they start mining the planet and they get that big APY, and there's other planets around. We're going to look forward to that. Very, very cool. Nightly says, "Hello, everybody." Hey, Nightly, good to see you in the house. Very cool. Hey, it's great to see a lot of people in. Hope you guys are setting up well for Christmas, because it's going to be pretty fun. Let's get into some of the details, of course, of the accelerator. 2,267 Matic have been invested through the accelerator so far today. 1.2 wrapped ETH. Woohoo! That's pretty cool through the accelerator. $1,879 USDC coins gone through the accelerator. No DAI and no chain link, which is pretty interesting. We consistently don't have a lot of that. Every so often we do. So that's an interesting aspect. Wrapped Bitcoin have gone in 0.007998 wrapped Bitcoin. This is bottom row is what people use to buy and invest. The top row is what happens to that money when it goes through the accelerator. Very, very cool. 55% is gone onto the market that people invest and buys AXION, burns AXION. 30% goes and buys wrapped Bitcoin dividends and gives that back to stakers. So once you go through the accelerator, you become a staker, and you start to benefit from everybody else that flows in. And the total AXION sold is just the total amount that's gone through, that's been sold through these bonuses. Pretty nice. So looking really good, folks. Very cool. All right, we're going to get into, of course, if you do want to invest, get Matic, wrapped ETH, USDC, DAI stable, wrapped Bitcoin, and Chainlink, all on a Polygon network, which is a second layer of Ethereum. And you can use exchanges like KuCoin or Crypto.com to send funds from an exchange there if you want to pick up Matic or something like that. You can also use bridges out there, like the official Matic bridge. You can bridge using Xpollinate from Binance Smart Chain to Polygon. There's lots of different options out there to do that. So very, very cool. All right, so once you choose that, of course, always click the advanced, click your token, put the amount you want to spend, and put in the period that you want to invest. You can, minimum is 120 days, maximum is 5,505 days, and longer pays better. So the longer you stake, 350 days and onwards, every year that you stake for 350 days, basically yearly you get a 1% bonus in there, up to 15%. So 1 year, for example, would be 1% or 350 days, and then 15 years would be 5,550 5 days, which is about 15.2 years, and that would be 15% or just slightly ahead of that. Very, very cool. If you have a diamond stake NFT, you also get a 5% bonus on top of that, so you can particularly get 20% if you had that. You've got to buy them on OpenSea now, and there are a limited amount of those. We haven't actually checked them recently. We will try to check that tomorrow or maybe the following day to see how those have been trading for sure. Very cool. That's all you have to do. Click your wallet and accept that, and then of course your stake will show up on the staking tab. You'll get a bonus particle NFT. You can see that here, and that looks pretty cool. And the NFT will go here, and on this page, that will show up. Your stake will show up on this page at the bottom. And of course, if you want to try and get that bonus particle NFT to make another stake, so that'll be like getting another windfall there. You have to put it through the the collider machine, and set the period that you want to stake. The longer you stake, of course, you get benefits. 20% more shares per year. When you stake your AXION, you get shares, and you get 20% more shares the longer you stake, all the way over 305% more shares. So it's a big deal. And of course, you engage the collider after that, and then you've got a 1 in 25 chance of smashing those particles together and creating a beautiful AXION stake, which could be 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, or 10x bigger than what you actually invested in. So it's just a really bit of a fun part of the collider platform, and it gives a few people that random chance of really getting huge ROI straight off the bat. Otherwise, your stake's going to be awesome. You're going to earn good AXION interest, and of course, wrap Bitcoin dividends over time. So that's the other side of it. Very cool. Let's jump over to. We're going to jump away from here now, and we're going to go to the dashboard and check that out. Got to get into the chat here. We've got Oblio Stone says, moving into Galaxy NFTs, it'd be cool to see some integration with Warp. I'm excited to hear what you talked about with the dev. So it wasn't a dev. I didn't talk to a dev, but it was definitely somebody from the team there, Oblio. And I just raised a few of my issues that I had last night, and had a good talk through on that. So I got a bit more comfort around the space. So we're going to talk about a few things around that as well. Obviously, any conversations I have with anybody are private. I keep those private. That's just part of my honor code, as it were. Solix says 1,750 for a ship and $250 for a fuel. Yeah, that's correct. So that's the investment thing. I think there's a maximum ships is 10,000 from memory, but we're going to look at that. We did a full coverage of the Warp yesterday, so you can check out yesterday's live stream. We did cover that in full. Probably touch on that a little bit tonight, but just as a quick preview. Nightly says, I was hoping the new OHM fork was going to be used with AXION in some way. That would have been really interesting, but anything could still happen, I guess. So we're going to talk a little bit about that later nightly, and of course, I think the team has got some things associated to that, but it's really for the team to talk about that. So definitely ask questions at the AMA tomorrow, which is in about 9 hours, and I think the community should ask those questions, right? So as you know, I try to keep neutral. Yesterday I was just taken back a bit by one of the announcements, and raise some genuine issues there. Normally I try to stay neutral on the topics, so very cool. All right, so Nightly says, we've locked away a ton of AXION though, says Nightly. Absolutely a massive amount of AXION's been locked away. 45% is staked for 15.2 years, which is the best in crypto. Nightly says, I'm predicting a pump soon. Well, the prices are definitely looking attractive for a pump, so I think you might be right about that, Nightly. Got a ton of weak hands out today, it seems. That's true. So well, I wouldn't say just weak hands, but people that may have been disappointed Nightly, may have been disappointed. So just take that into account. There were some genuine concerns, and but I think on the whole, as we're going to look through shortly, there are a lot of very good positives. So we're going to go through all those too. Solix says, I won 8 million particles since the beginning. Oh, Solix, you're a star. Well done to you. So congratulations to the collider. Very, very nice. Let's quickly check out the results at the moment, because we're going to do the burn baby burn now, and it's one of my favorite sections. Then we're going to jump over and talk about the making of AXION as a world-class ecosystem, and all the things that will go into that, including Warp. So we're going to talk about that as well. So stay tuned, folks. Let's get out. We're up to 24.336 billion burned at the moment. The total supply is 354.6. 28% circulating supply, 98 billion, but that includes the burn address and on Polygon, and it includes the dev wallet, which is about 20 billion, and other contracts. So take that into account. It's kind of a gross circulating supply figure. You have to take all those off to get the net figure. Total staked 72%, 256.5 billion, and of that is a massive 45% stake for 15.2 years. It is the best in crypto, and I should know. I cover all the big CD projects, so that's the knowledge base there. 161.3 billion AXION max stake there. Very cool. Let's check out what the burn is today. And it normally happens just while we're doing this live stream, which I love. So we're going to go check that out for sure. Hey, welcome everybody. Of course, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. If you're watching this after the live stream, which a big majority do, then don't forget to leave your comments. I always answer those in the chat there too. So a big shout out to you. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do subscribe. It helps with the algorithms as well. So very nice. All right, let's quickly check out the staking period. So 38 minutes ago, we had 163 million. OMG, that is so good. And remember, even if the price goes down, the burn goes up. And that burn goes off, so we actually burn faster. Is the other side of it. So cool, and a big shout out for that. Nice, because yesterday we did 12 million. And I didn't do the burn baby burn yesterday, but 163. That's definitely worth talking about, folks. And we're going to talk about that now. So fantastic, and we're going to get out of here. So we're up to 24.3. Let me just write that down here so I don't forget. 24.33. Let me put that in. And we're going to go and do that now. We're going to go into Discord, and that's where we're going to start. And we'll come back to the accelerator later in the live stream. But here we go, folks. We're going to go report the burn, baby, burn. I know that Oblio is going to be trying to compete on that. Good luck, Oblio, because I'm feeling fast. I'm feeling this fast click is coming in, and that's what's going to happen. So let's get in here, folks, and we're going to do the burn, baby, burn today. Very, very cool. All right, so burn, baby, burn. All right, so bam, and we're going to go AXION. I got to take off that caps lock just now. Beautiful. And total burn now, what did we say? 24.33 billion. That's with a B. Billion AXION. All right, so nice. All right, so are you ready, Obdo? On your marks, get set. Here we go. And I've got to be fast with this. This is so good. Okay, go. And here we go. We got to fire. Oh, I just misspelt. I misspelt after I got to the mouse fast, but I misspelt. So Obvio smashed it out of the park again. Oh my gosh, so good. Well done. I'm still going to beat the GIF. I think I'm still going to beat the GIF, and I like to get a nice fire. Let's get a nice fire here. Isn't this one nice? We'll post that one there. It's very cool. So big fire there. Nice. And there is the AXION way. That's how it goes. All right, so looking good there. Oblio, put some ice on that burn. Yeah, that's true. And we've got some nice one on there. Put some ice on that burn. So there we are, folks. That is the results, 163 million. That is massive, and that's really great. So even though the price might be down, the burn is actually up, accelerates the burning, and that's really cool. So cheers, everybody. All right, so that's pretty cool. Now we're going to get into actually what we might do is we'll just hit up the social media stuff on AXION Twitter, see what the team's been doing, see what the gorillas have been doing. Now I understand there's 30 gorillas in the house, maybe 31 with the leaders, who knows, but pretty cool. I say today we had, if you know, you know, and we've got Bitcoin there. I guess the fork in the road, you know which way you're going, the Bitcoin way, I guess, or something like that. We've got us, we got here, stake AXION, earn Bitcoin. Make your money work for you. Over $7 million in Bitcoin paid to stakers since March. So, you know, well done. And for all those stakers, got that. Very, very cool. And I've got some little cool image there. Look at that with the old AXION logo on there. I'm not sure if that's a real city or it's just a make one. Is it maybe it's Hong Kong or something? I don't know. Very cool. What else we got? Get a bonus of up to 20.8% when you enter the accelerator. Now that does include if you have if you have a diamond stake NFT. Don't forget that. So that's the case. So I'm presuming that's what they're including there. Stake AXION, earn Bitcoin, accelerate your crypto. They got the diamond stake NFT. No, they don't there. So cool. And then we've got everyone has the fire, but the champion know when to ignite the spark. A ray. So very cool. Everyone has the fire, but the champions know when to ignite the spark. So that's pretty cool. Got a nice little graphic there with the AXION. I love this. Watch this. This is really cool. Look at that. Radiating. That's really cool. Obviously, we had a big burn today, so that makes a lot of sense. Let's do the burn. Very cool graphic. That's great. For years, the US government has maintained a side hustle, of course, auctioning of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Historically, Uncle Sam has done a pretty lousy job of timing the market. That's true to that too. So that there, folks, is the social media on Twitter. A big shout out to the gorillas, of course, who are out there every day. The army has doubled in size, went from 15 to 30, and the gorillas are killing it out there on Twitter. So big shout out to them. Very cool. All right, so let's get in chat here. Hey, Knightley's in our says, if accelerated volume is high and volume is low, it's really easy to get 100 million burned in one day. Only take a small amount of money. It's going to start getting easier and easier to move that price. That's correct. That's the logic. Knightley says, yeah, I got that one. And Knightley says, Prana sleeping in tonight. Yeah, maybe Prana is. Hey, big shout out to all of you out there, though, folks. Very cool to see you in the chat. And we're going to have a good time. So let's get on to the main topic. Which is the title of the video, making AXION's the best AXION, the best world-class staking ecosystem, something like that. I think I had the title. Gotta make sure what I said. Making AXION the world's best staking ecosystem. That's what we said. Very, very cool. New products, new markets, and stuff like that. So very cool. I actually had it in the general chat there. What did I actually call it? Let's go back before we jump in there. Let's go back to the general and get that right. I got to announce my own title video. Very cool. Let's jump back up here. Yeah, making AXION the world's best staking ecosystem. New products, new markets, and new opportunities. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to flesh that out a bit as well. New DeFi, AXION Collider, OHM Fork Warp. Called Warp, and of course Galaxy NFTs, marketing and adoption, which is a big deal, and we want that to real focus on. AXION Accelerator, of course, the new tokenomics, so new tokenomics and new projects and existing AXION, just tweaking things a bit, and the metaverse as well. So lots, and plus lots of other stuff that's not on there, the website updating and stuff like that. We're going to check all that out as we go. So let's get into it, folks. We're going to get to do this, so we're going to be pretty cool. Get into the chat, folks, and raise any issues that you might have, or any topics, comments that you want to make. For sure, we're going to get into all that. We're going to go right back, not to the beginning of time, but we're going to go right back up the top here, past the gorillas, past that, and we're going to get in from here. So here it is. We're going to start from here with Pullen. Pullen is the marketing director for AXION, and let's see what's next for AXION. Thank you all for that took the time to tune into our AMA on Polygon, which was a really great AMA. At the time of writing this, over 2,000 people tuned in, and more are listening to the playback available right there. So if you haven't heard that, definitely check that out. It was a really good one there. Very cool. AXION began just over a year ago as the second certificate of deposit type token in the market, which has now evolved into an entire ecosystem. And that's the really thing. But the thing with this is that the ecosystem is still expanding, and there's a lot. It's going to expand a lot, like huge balloon blowing up. So that's pretty cool. That favors and rewards long-term thinking. We built our community on the foundations of regular, predictable growth and passive income generation. Through the past few months, we have had a successful migration to Polygon and have continued to develop new exciting features such as the AXION Accelerator, AXION Collider, and the upcoming NFT Galaxy Stakes, which we're all waiting for. Very, very cool. I think so they're just tweaking that the visualization on that, because it has been they've been able to do that since the beginning, because they had that already in the V3 technology. All this with the vision of making AXIONs the world's best ecosystem. So that is where I got the title from. All this with the vision of making AXION the world's best staking ecosystem. That is the heart. That's the vision, and that's what we want to flesh out and get a better understanding from what we've got through the announcements and from the team. Hopefully, the Warp AMA will help flesh that out. People will ask good questions, and we'll get even more answers getting in behind this. So that's really part of the thing here. So what's next for AXION? In order for AXION to continue to grow as a project, it is essential that the team look at external growth strategies. So this seems to be where the big heading is, for of course, the big external growth strategy. So we're going to try and flesh that out a bit more. The next logical step is to develop new projects by the AXION development team and provide a bridge to diversify investment to existing and new investors and bring new eyes to the AXION brand. So obviously, if they make other projects that's kind of operate standalone, maybe they have some linkages, and that's what I want to see. I want to see more fleshed out about the linkages. So if you're in the AMA, maybe ask about the linkages back to AXION. I think that's a very fundamental question. So get into that. There could be direct linkages, and there could be behind the scene linkages. So definitely something to pursue, because I think that's very important, that the ecosystem is connected, and we need to know how that value circulates. So definitely some good questions in there around that. So very, very cool. So here is the next part of the title that we had on the video. I'm starting to stutter there. I might have a little drink of my cup of tea, that's for sure. Cheers, everybody. Cup of tea, yeah? Cup of tea. Must be really English. It's cup of tea time. Anyway, So new products, new markets, and new opportunities. So I was trying to, out of the title, I was trying to flesh out what is the AXION team actually saying, this AXION official team. Obviously, this channel, AXION Token, is a community promoter, and so we support the promotion of AXION ecosystem, but we still have to, we don't get any particular insights. You know, sometimes when I get a few chances to get that, I often say, oh, please don't tell me, because I like the surprises myself. I like surprises. I know you guys like surprises. It is part of the fun as well. I like that part of the journey, so it's very, very cool. All new projects will operate as standalone products. Okay, so that's part of the key there. So the standalone, that by itself is fine, but then what are the linkages? What's the bridges over in terms of value creation? So that's pretty key. But are developed by the AXION development team, all good. We are talking about new DeFi ecosystems, so DeFi, decentralized finance products and platforms. New tokenomics models, so new way of creating value and incentivizing people to do certain behaviors, which integrate Web3, metaverse, and more. So pretty much touching a lot of the hot topics at the moment around metaverse. Obviously, Facebook trying to do it, Twitter and all those sort of things like that trying to do it. Of course, you could question how real those ones are, but of course, a lot of the existing crypto establishment doing it. And of course, you've got 3D worlds and all sort of stuff are doing that already. You've got top NFT chains like Phantasma Chain doing that. So there's lots out there already leading that. So cool. These projects will be launched through the AXION ecosystem, either through the AXION Launchpad, which is one of the key features. We've talked about the AXION Accelerator, the AXION Collider with the particle NFTs, and of course, we have the AXION Launchpad. Those are the three big ones at the moment, and then we have lots of cool other features within that, such as splitting stakes, renaming stakes, and other premium services that are there too. Through the incubator program that develops these projects, or incubator program that develops these projects. And so we'd like to probably need more information on the incubator program, because this is kind of new terminology that the team's using here. We're familiar with the AXION Launchpad, but the incubator program definitely something that we would like to hear more about, fleshed out in due time. As well. So our community members will now be able to grow their digital assets through access to vetted projects developed by the AXION team, which is cool. We know that they're world-class team, developers, marketers, mathematicians, and we love that. That's the capability is second to none. And of course, known and trusted team. We already see a lot of what they do, so we already know what they can deliver. They do what they say. Sometimes the time frame can be a little different depending on what constraints they're facing, but it really is pretty impressive. Trusted coding development, of course, audited code done by thoughtful mathematics and coding as well. So we're pretty used to that. So I just screwed around. As a start, the team has developed an ohm fork, and obviously we already talked about the Olympus DAO on this about 4 or 5 days ago. We went through the whole Olympus DAO and the idea of an ohm fork, with building up a treasury and then issuing token for that treasury, bonding those assets that have been deposited, and then the price gets leveraged up, and you get some big X's on the actual treasury. Treasury might be worth 300 million, but the value of the project has got a market cap of 2 to 4 billion because the people priced it up based on that treasury. So that's sort of some of the things how that works, and it'll be interesting to see how that tokenomics works with the Warp ohm fork as well. So we'll get more stuff about that in the AMA tomorrow. So that's some good questions around that too. Definitely worth to be asked. So very cool. We'll be doing an AMA regarding this on Discord next Thursday. Of course, that is now Wednesday. Stay tuned for more updates, the AXION development team. So I thought it was really important to go through this. This does flesh things out a bit more. It tells us what the vision is. And of course, it talks about new products, new markets, new opportunities. And so really the only thing we want to get more knowledge is about the linkages, about the value creation, about the benefits within the AXION ecosystem, and but in particular for the AXION stakers already, who have already well invested and committed to the project. So definitely exciting products. We just want to see some of those connections. So here was an interesting thing too about pulling. I wanted to talk about this if my mouse lets me stabilize, but let's get into any questions. I'm just going through some questions before we move on to the next topic. So Crypto Jack 3 says, hit that like and subscribe. Definitely hit that like. I love that. Hey, big shout out to you, Crypto Jack, for that. And I love the superhero there, Superman, nice. And Knightley says, do you think it's more of a legal thing if they say that their projects are standalone? but might end up helping out AXION in other ways? Well, I just see them as issuing them separately. They're trying to get new investors from that point of view. I don't think really it's a legal issue. They're trying to get new investors, but I just think that we already know there's one benefit going to be there. It's going to get announced at the AMA, but I definitely think that we need a bit more idea of some of those linkages in there as well. So it could be, it could be a number of things. It could be a planet called AXION. Could, and you yield farm on that, and there's some benefits. Who knows? We're going to find out. I don't know anything about that, so it's definitely something for the AMA. I think the AMA is I think the warp is fantastic. So it's just about can we get a bit more insights into the linkages and the benefits for the ecosystem? Remember, it's all part of the world-class ecosystem. We want to have those things connected in some form, directly, maybe indirectly. They don't have to tell us everything about that, just allude to some of the value creation there. I think it's important as well. D. Luke's in the house. Morning, Suit Man. Hey, D. Luke, good to see you in the house. Very cool. And make sure to buy the dip. That's the other side of it, of course. Cheaper price is always a buying opportunity, folks. And with the AMA tomorrow, it should be pretty bullish time as well. Oblio Stowe says the API for Earth in the warp game is 600 million percentage hour. That is like 16,000% per day. Yeah, so when they have those yields, they're really high, but I think in actuality they're actually relatively lower. So to take that into account, I haven't actually looked closer at that particular economics, but that's how they work as well. So definitely check that out. I don't think it's quite going to be quite like that for sure, because those rates are actually technically unsustainable. So I think that actually plays out practice a lot lower. Just take that into account. So hopefully that's a good question for the AXION team tomorrow about that. John AXION says, my first reaction is that the very talented AXION devs are bored with AXION and want a new project. If it brings new people to AXION and the price rises, then that is good. Yeah, I definitely think that's a possibility with the branding. Obviously, we just talked about that. They want to build the brand. They want to have the ecosystem, but there must be clear linkages, at least visibly. If they've got a few little secrets sitting in behind the scenes, that's cool. We don't need to know about that. They can do that. But if there's direct linkages, we need to have a few. And we already know there's one linkage. There's going to be some benefit for AXION holders. So we'll find out what that is tomorrow. We're all looking with bated breath to see that. Very excited for sure. Critic Scene says, can't wait for AMA today. Going to be very interesting. I agree with you, Critic Scene. Big shout out to you. Lalang says, hit the like and subscribe button. Woohoo! Yeah, AXION family, absolutely. And Knightley says, I have to ask at the AMA. It'll be interested. Yeah, it's definitely, get at least 1 or 2 questions ready that you feel is most important to you, because that's really what I'm trying to do, is flesh out this awesome stuff. This team is capable of doing awesome stuff, but I just want to make sure the connections are clear and concise in the ecosystem. Obvio Stone says, sorry, 16 XXX times per day. Yeah. Critic Sense says, agree, John. The way I see it is new investors to stand alone projects should give new exposure to AXION as well. And that is true. That is true. And but we want to also have that value connected. And as I said yesterday, one of my big issues was having some, financial cycling through that as a potential thing. Now, they don't have to talk too much about it officially, but it'd be cool to see something happening around that space. Obvio Stone says, yeah, I didn't think it could be long-term. That's insane, says Oblio. Yeah, every time if you go to yield farming, Alex is not on the live stream, but we do a lot of yield farming on Polygon, and we've used other platforms as well. Won't go too much into that, but those are typically unsustainable. So they last for a little while. You'll be lucky if it's a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, and then they start falling pretty quickly. They still can stay up high for quite a while, depending on new investors. Oh, I got a spider in here. Oh, I hate spiders, so hopefully it's going to leave me alone. I'm going to actually get rid of it because, jumped away there. Oh, now I'm in big trouble now. I'm in big trouble, guys. I hate spiders. Oh, there we are. Oh, well, drama on that. Superman hates spiders. That's right. That's true. It's like the kryptonite. I'm not sure where it's gone now. I tried to kill it, but it didn't. It jumped away. Anyway, so my blood pressure's gone up like 5,000%. All right, so let's get into some of these comments here. Jason McFadden in the house. Hey, another AXION token member. Who else scooped up some serious coin with this dip today? I couldn't liquidate and move funds around fast enough. AXION is going to blow the crypto markets away in the near future. Cheers all. Hey, nice comment there, James. So well done to you on that. Very big shout out. All right, so let's get into the next section, folks, and hopefully the spider won't jump on me, because that would be a nightmare for me, for sure, because I am majorly arachnophobic or something, whatever you call it. I'm not even sure where it's gone now. Definitely terrifying, mate. Definitely terrifying. You can see my blood. I've just gone crazy. It's almost like you go irrational when you see the spiders. Anyway, back to the thing. So Pullen's done some simulations for 2022. This is a really good video. So please watch and learn a little about the history of AXION, learn some of the changes to the tokenomics we've recently made, and see what where we could go very soon. So this is pretty positive video. Talks about getting the tokenomics right and stuff like that. So definitely well worth a lot. And they're pretty confident their modeling is going to inevitably lead to a higher price. But of course, that's based on investor confidence. So investor confidence needs to be kept intact. Investor confidence leads to momentum, and momentum leads to value. So you've still got to do a lot of the marketing and onboarding, but other than that, you need to make those very clear. That's why I'm talking so much about the connections between the standalone projects, because it's part of the ecosystem. Everything's sitting in the ecosystem, but it needs to have clear connections. So hopefully that's what we'll see in AMA. Definitely things for the community to ask, so that the team is able to answer that. So nice. Let's go on to we're going to jump past the gorillas, but the social gorillas have been doing awesome, and of course we've got the 15 new ones there. We've also got Prana in there, Ruckus 3000. So big shout out to them. Those are the next 15, of course, and they're doing a great job. But let's get on to we'll go past the YouTube there, and we're going to get on to here. Obviously, we talked about the warp yesterday. As the video that we talked about the announcement with Joel, who's the creative director in AXION, and introducing warp, the most exciting. Oh, the spider! I just saw it. Ah! Oh, it's terrifying, folks. It's terrifying. Oh. Wish me luck, because if that jumped on me, I'd be terrified. Anyway, so high drama on today's show. Yeah, Superman's running from a spider, but there we are. So nice one. Yeah, OMA and Fork featuring NFT starships, multiple staking pools, and more. I love this, by the way. This is really great, and well done to the team for this. From the team that brought you the AXION comes Warp, a revision of the OHM protocol as a sci-fi metaverse. Build insanely cool starship NFTs using bonds. And of course, these then time travel to different star systems, and representing multiple staking pools. And every time a planet is discovered, a new gold rush begins, which I love that whole idea, with the first captains to bring their ships to the new planet, earning the highest share of the resources. So they're making investing fun, and that's pretty cool. A lot of people enjoy that, and they're using a lot of the cool latest things to do it, NFTs, etc. In short, be the first to arrive and yield the highest rewards. With 10,000 unique nameable ships, your very own ship is out there waiting to be unlocked. With Warp, bonds become faster than light. So I love that. I thought that was really brilliantly written, so well done. What makes Warp so exciting is how it gamifies the OHM protocol, adding in the perfect collection of standout features from NFTs with actual utility to the staking metaverse and cross-promotion opportunities it presents. Warp ushers in DeFi 2.0 with an impressive visual theme and unique tokenomics that separate it from the rest of the pack. With Polygon as a launch partner, influencers already piling on, and a fair launch initiative. So this is fair launch rather than pre-sales and stuff. No early distributions of Warp and pre-sales. Paid influencers getting Warp tokens, etc. So that's really good. I love fair launches. Great idea. Warp creates a unique opportunity for all investors to become their own captains and pilot their starships across the staking metaverse. So this is already a good thing for the tokenomics, that you don't have the big whales. People can enter, they can buy their ships, they can race to the planets, get the yield farming, and it takes a lot of that big investor stuff out of it. And so I think that's pretty cool. Gives a lot more fair chance of getting awesome APY as well. So big shout out for that. As a welcome to the AXION community, Warp will be giving AXION first access to the NFT functioning. So this is the one thing we do know, and this is very cool. And I want to see what other connections are between this platform and the AXION one, right? So definitely something to ask about. As welcome to the AXION community, Warp will be giving AXION first access to the NFT functionality present in the ecosystem with a unique AXION launch. So very cool. The details of this launch will be released during our Warp AMA. Oh, the spiders over there. Boy, that's terrifying. It's about a meter away from me now. I might have to ring the police or the army or something. I might have to nuke that sucker. It's going up the wall there. Ah! Oh, where's my fly spray gone? Where's my fly spray? Oh, I'm gonna get some fly spray. I can't handle it. I went to get some fly spray and the thing disappeared. Can you believe it? It disappeared. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Here's me running after fly spray. Hope the thing doesn't come back. Nightly's got spider time. Don't say that, Nightly. Don't say that. And LMOAO says Jay McFadden. Hashtag Spider-Man. Yeah, I will. Spider-Man is my arch enemy, really, if you think about it. I don't know. Not Batman's not, I guess, in this case. Kadar TV says there is already a major conflict of interest with the team using the launchpad for their own self-initiated projects without a community vote. It's definitely that's a definite question that you want to ask them at the AMA about that. Cardano TV, I think that's a very consistent with the community. James McFadden, what do you get when you cross Superman with Spider-Man? That sounds bad. I don't know where this is leading to. Cardano TV says it takes the team away from focusing on AXION and supporting the long-term committed investors who have locked their funds and can't use those funds for the new features. Well, this is where I'm talking about the linkages between the projects, and I think that's important, Cardano. You can think of some obvious linkages there, so definitely something to ask around that. Because if you're expanding the ecosystem, you get new audience for AXION. Potentially, you also have got the financial aspect of it. So those are the linkages you want to talk about as well. And Nightly says, I'm guessing there are a ton of poisonous spiders where you live. We don't have a lot of poisonous spiders. I think we've got a couple of small ones, but it's not like Australia. Australia's full of poisonous things. But this spider is really bad because this spider is fast and it jumps around, and I don't normally see spiders like that. That's what's really freaking me out about it. It's like it's almost got a brain that's invaded. Nightly says New Zealand, right? That's right. Kiwi land. You got it right, Nightly. And I agree, Cardano TV, that is my concern. So definitely those questions, John, and Cardano TV, definitely worth asking those at the AMA tomorrow. And it's really good if you get a couple of voices because that really helps with getting weight behind those questions as well. Crypto Jack's got the Spidey suit, man. That's terrible, Crypto Jacks, man. That's terrible. Stop scaring me with the. I don't even know where this thing is. I just hope it's gone behind. I just hope it's gone behind the old. I've got a bookcase up there. I hope it's gone behind them. McFadden says you are awesome. A lot. You assume a lot. Cardano TV says James McFadden. It's definitely some good questions though, James. It's worth asking. So you might want to just do that. So very cool. It's better to get the questions out of the way and ask them straight up. It's the best way to work through the issues. Crypto Casino says make sure it's not a black widow spider. No, I don't know what the heck it is. It's terrifying. I've got my raid stuff here. I just haven't seen it. Oh, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna nuke that place afterwards. It's gonna be a nuked force. I feel like I got spiders on me now, and I'd hate it if it was. Kadai says the new projects must have a direct benefit of real funds channeling to long-term AXION investors. This will be fast become a rug pull. I wouldn't quite use rug pull. I think that's probably too strong, Cardano TV. But definitely asking about the financial interrelations are very important. I think Cardano. I think that's very important. So definitely worth asking at the AMA. Cardano TV says I'm only going by what the team has so far announced. The announcement is a PR disaster the way it was currently worded. Yeah, we're going to get up to that point and we're going to work through that. That's why we're talking about this tonight. And looking, that's why we've gone back further into the further announcements, which I thought was a much better announcement. The first one we just read through. We're going to get into that, of course. Crypto Casino says I suggested a planet called Maxion for max stakers to go for perks. Cardano TV. I actually like that idea. I like that idea. It's definitely something to talk to them about as well. John Atkins says my concern is the team go all in on warp and AXION stagnates and dies, and our 15-year stakes are worthless. Now I don't believe that's the case. I think that's just part of the ecosystem, and they're going to manage that all together. I know that the way they worded it was not very good, and if that really was their commitment, then that needs to be challenged a little bit, and they need to make sure that they're running the whole thing as an ecosystem and not getting distracted into the particular projects. So definitely some real issues to talk about the AMA, and it's great to just to flesh some of those out here, which is really part of the live stream. Very cool. But when I go through these announcements, I can see, they have a bigger picture. There is there's some strategic logic to it, as new products, new platforms, stuff like that. Just got to make sure those connections are relatively clear. And if they've got any other ones that are sitting in behind the scenes that the market shouldn't know about, but they're doing, that's all cool. I'm happy with that too. but it was just worth fleshing out a bit. Joseph Vaden said, I'm involved in 5 companies, Cardano TV. Sharks on Shark Tank are involved in hundreds of companies. Give it a rest. Stop fudding your investment. I don't think he's fudding, James. I just think that he's got some serious things, but I wouldn't use the word rug pull, Cardano TV. I think the rest of your comments are quite reasonable, but the thing, the team's not rug pulling. So it's just talking about getting clear those connections. That's all I think that's important, and that wasn't well phrased in the in that second half of the announcement we're about to read. Nightly says, I hate spiders. Oh, me too. Yeah, so I think Knightley's trying to get me going there. Cardano TV says, and what about investors who have amazed out their funds and have already committed all their funds to AXION? Well, that's true. There's quite a few of those. So there is going to be a benefit. We're going to talk about that shortly. I'm just going through these comments because we've got quite a few going on here. Knightley says, don't let them bite you. Man, Knightley, you're terrible. Hey, yo, says, hey, Prana. Prana's in the house. Woohoo! Hey, Prana, a gorilla. Woohoo! Hey, gorilla. Good to see Prana in the house. And Kadante says, also, what if single investors take all the warp placements using multiple wallets and accounts? Well, that's always possible, even in a fair launch. That's true of anything Cardano TV. So I don't think that's you can't stop that in crypto. People using multiple wallets. Lalang says, hello, Prana, and True Blue 75 in the house. Good to see True Blue. Woo-hoo-hoo. Morning. I fear for AXION with this other project. They say the devs have nearly finished, but the likes of Pullen, head of marketing, are also involved. Have all concerned still being a pipe. Well, I think that's what we're fleshing out at the moment. We went through that first announcement, is that I don't think they're not doing quite what that second part of the announcement was saying, and I think that they are trying to build a bigger ecosystem. I just think they worded some stuff poorly, and they need to clarify that stuff. And I think that the AMA tomorrow is a perfect time for a lot of the community to go do that. It's no good the community just going, whatever they do, it's good. I think the community needs to ask some, decent questions, particularly all the big stakers as well, because I think it's very exciting. I just think they need to make those connections clearer to the community about the ecosystem, because you can have an ecosystem, but if you really got something that you're letting the poor cousin over here, and you've got the rich cousin over here, then you're not doing a good justice to the ecosystem. And I think that's what they really are trying to do, is create that vision of an ecosystem, make it flourish more, attract new people, and stuff like that. Just made to make it more clear. That's what I think. So some good questions raised by all of you. Definitely worth asking at the AMA for sure. And Oblio says, I wouldn't mind the price of AXION to bounce in the next few weeks so I can get into warp. Yeah, that's the other side of it, isn't it, Oblio? So good point. Never thought about that, Oblio. That's a good point. Prana says, hi, Knightley and Lalang. And Solik says, nuke the spider, not your AXION. Stop that. Whereas I don't even know where the spider is, man. It's freaking me out here, All right. And True Blue says, I don't see a lot of marketing apart from the same interviews which haven't been successful. I think there needs to be some. I've talked to the team, not to the team, but one person in the team about that. They need to refine the tunnel, the conversion rate in the tunnel. I think they're working on that. So that's some other questions that need to be asked around that, because obviously they're doing some really good job of programmatic ads. They've got obviously YouTubers. They're doing YouTubers. You can't. The only way to make YouTubers more effective is by trying to get them doing referrals where they're actively marketing rather than just giving them money and then they do. We have had much better interviews lately. But you need to get all that really streamlined. So that's a process. Could take a year to get that process right, but it's definitely something they have got better and better at, and increase the marketing of. So definitely, I'm looking forward to marketing reports on that. I'd like to see more around that, because we're lucky to have marketing reports. I think it's really cool, and of course, the marketing team does do that. So, but definitely that is, that conversion is definitely an issue that should be talked about more as well. And as in the view of improvement, right? In the view of improvement, which is always a good thing. Critic Casino says, guys, last day of work, gotta go. Take care of all. Watch the AMA later. Don't worry, all will be good, says Critic Casino. Hey, Critic Casino, thanks for that, and enjoy your day, last day, and then freedom. That's it for the Christmas period. We got John Atkins says, have a good day, have a great last day, CC, says John. And Lang says, take care, sir, CC, and all AXION fam. Absolutely, Lang. And what else? Prana says, if Superman gets bitten by the spider, he will become Spider-Man. No, I don't want that at all. All right, so Prana says, take care, Lang. And Knightley says, Superman plus Spider-Man. That's right, so that'd be funny. Hey, you remember Spider-Man split into like bad Spider-Man, good Spider-Man? Superman did that too. I think it was it Superman 3 or Superman 4, where Superman became bad Superman and good Superman. That was pretty funny. I think it was Superman 4 possibly. Prana says, NVM, you were saying to buy to CC. Oops. Yeah, that's so good. Thank you, Prana. And FBAM's in the house. Hey, FBAM. Woohoo! Bam, 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 bam. Good to see FBAM in the house. Hello, everybody. Hey, great to see you. Lalang's in there too. Hello, FBAM. And night, everyone. See you all at the AMA, says James. Hey, James, see you there. And look forward to it. It's going to be fun times. Very, very cool project that the team's building there. Very nice. All right, let's get into some of the rest of it, of course. We've got what makes the Warp so exciting is how gamifies the OHM protocol, adding in the perfect collection of standout features from NFTs with actual utility to stake in the metaverse and cross-promotion opportunities it represents. So those cross-promotion opportunities is going to be of very good importance for the ecosystem, cross-pollination. Warp ushers in DeFi 2.0 with an impressive visual theme and unique tokenomics that separate it from the rest of the pack. With Polygon as a launch partner, and that's a pretty big deal. Polygon as a launch partner, influencers already piling on, and a fair launch initiative, no early distribution. So there's another thing around the influencers piling on. Who are they? When did that happen? All that sort of stuff is worth questioning about. Fair launch initiative, of course, no distributions, and Warp pre-sales, paid influencers, and that sort of stuff. Warp creates a new opportunity for all investors to become their own captains and pilot their starships across the staking metaverse. So back to Cardano TV's question, I think this is probably as fair as you can get the launch, to be honest, because you can't really control the wallets per se. As a welcome to the AXION community, Warp will be giving AXION first access to the NFT functionality present in the ecosystem through a unique AXION launch. The details of this launch will be released during our Warp AMA live stream happening Wednesday. Of course, that's only about 9 hours away on the AXION YouTube channel. Until then, be sure to check out the Warp website, join the Warp Discord, and find out more about this incredible project you don't want to miss, launching in less than a month, January 2021. So it's coming up for January. The other thing, of course, we did go through that yesterday through the Warp, so you can check out the website there. I will post that in the chat, though, as well, so you can check that out. If you haven't checked out the Warp website, go do that. FBAM's got the love, hearts, and rainbows there, and Prana's in the house there, night metal. Very, very cool. Oh, all right, so there we are. Nice. All right, so that there is the website to go to. Let us get into here. So this was what was controversial was this section here. What does the mean for AXION and its ongoing development? And I thought this was poorly written, and I have given that feedback. With the imminent release of Galaxy Stake NFTs, AXION will be nearing feature complete status. Ongoing marketing efforts. So this is the positive stuff. So ongoing marketing efforts, community building, AXION launches, and organization of the knowledge base and structural videos, etc., will be ongoing. So that's all very cool. We love that. With the core development of AXION nearly complete, members of the AXION development team have partnered together to create a new team that develops new projects that are external to the AXION ecosystem. Now, this is why this was poorly written. So this external to the AXION ecosystem, well, that there's I had a big problem with that. I had a big problem with this, and I've talked about this with a member of the team already. And of course, I had a big problem with this because just the way it was worded, it's fine to say it's a standalone project, but everything should be part of the AXION ecosystem, right? If you think about it, because if we go all the way back up to the previous announcement, all the way back up here, which we start off with, which I really like this announcement. This was very, very good. We had the fact that all of this with the vision of making AXION the world's best staking ecosystem. So that was all the previous products in there, of course, all the details. But this has been and was the vision the whole time. And of course, if you think about the Warp OHM fork, though it's a separate project, it really is within the staking ecosystem. It's not really anything different, and it shouldn't be. If you think about it, it could be a different brand, and that's what it is. It's a different brand and a different product, different tokenomics, but it's really part of the ecosystem, and that needs to be made very clear. I think those connections need to be made clear too. And then we've got new products, new market, new opportunities. And I think I've got the cat in the house now. Hopefully the cat eats the spider. That would be pretty cool. And so, yeah, that fits in there well. And of course, with the new projects, community, what do we got here? These projects will be launched with AXION's ecosystem, either through the AXION Launchpad. So, really, it is part of it and needs to stay part of it. Even if you're branding it differently as a standalone, that's all good. You're running it separately from that point of view. But really, the connections need to be within the AXION ecosystems because that's what it's all about. This vision's been sold to us for months and months and months, and this update was really cool. I was super positive when I saw that. So this one here is definitely, something that needs to be taken care of. These projects can be brought to the AXION community as well as bring in other communities to AXION. So we're all happy with all that. That's all good. We just need to make sure that this aspect here is really made clear And of course, this here was answered as well. We're going to get into the latest announcement, which deals with this line here. Both those were controversial. This means that Warp is an entirely, let me go back here, sorry. The Warp is an entirely standalone project separate from AXION. So it's separate from AXION, but it's within the AXION staking ecosystem because you're building a world-class. That's the key. So the umbrella is the AXION world-class ecosystem, and it needs, any project you create needs to fit under that, and there needs to be some relationship and value recycled back in. Otherwise, you are really got just different projects, and you really, some will fly and others will not. And then the original stakers, what happens to them? They could be a poor cousin, and I don't want that outcome for all the AXION stakers that have been so committed for so long. And I don't think the team does as well. I just think that they didn't word it very well here. So that was my big issue, and so forth. This means the Warp is an entirely standalone project separate from AXION. Investors can choose to join Warp through the AXION launch in the same way they join Luxy, Variable, Securidance, with the added benefit of knowing the team behind Warp and the future project is talented, capable, and excited to bring these projects to AXION and beyond. Just as participating in external launches brings eyes to AXION, so does the Warp, and we're happy with all that. That's great. So go check out the Warp, of course, and I've posted that in the link. Let's jump through, of course, to this. So this was an update after this. Obviously, there was a lot of things. The market price dived, and it was definitely in a response to this. Not necessarily paper hands, but people that were, pretty scared, a bit upset. And I was definitely, you saw me yesterday, I was certainly very concerned as well. So, and definitely important stuff to talk about. So here was the latest announcement. This came out at 6:46 a.m. this morning. And of course, that was a little while ago. What does the feature complete mean for AXION? AXION is our home. The team behind AXION inherited this project, and we have poured our hearts into it over the last year. This community and the long-term investing behavior is behind. It is truly unique in crypto. There's nothing else like it. The community is a reflection of AXION itself, unique, nothing else like it. AXION literally redefined what it means to be a staking ecosystem, and then there's a huge amount of crypto first in the project. Buy and stake AXION in a single transaction, earn a particle NFT, of course, for a chance to bonus stake daily Bitcoin divs, 8% APR, a launch pad available only to stakers, stake naming and stake splitting, an integrated voting system, of course. I think my mouse just died. Oh, my mouse has died. Hopefully it's not going to, my computer might crash, guys. Some reason it just, let me have a look here. I think maybe either my batteries have just died, one of the two. I think my batteries just died. No, that's not good. Not sure what's happened there. I can't even see my screen. My computer's all fine. I'm not sure what's happening there. Let's have a look here. All right, so I'm back. Whew. Oh, I'm back. Is it back? Oh, no, it's the battery's definitely flat on my mouse. Oh, I have to do it again. Oh boy. All right, so what have we got there? So yeah, mouse is definitely dying there, so definitely something worth talking about. All right, so what we got there? NFT present and the upcoming animated feature Galaxy NFT stake to present your stake to an NFT alongside other utility ones there. No other crypto project has such a pedigree, so all fantastic. It's true. Does feature complete mean the project's over? Absolutely not. So the team really tried to clarify that, and that's a big shout out to the team for doing that. AXION's development, I still think there's questions around the interconnectedness and the value circulation, so definitely worth asking at the AMA. AXION's development cycle can be described in eras. There was an error, a launch error, etc. So lots of errors there. And of course, now it's back to a post VCA launch. We are back in the era of refining marketing, messaging, and community outreach. But I actually think it needs be a lot more about that. I think we need to know about the linkages between the projects and the ecosystem. That's a fundamental question and benefit back to AXION stakers either directly or indirectly or both. So definitely something. For the first time in AXION's history, the team really feels like we can look at the project, look at the tokenomics, look at everything we built, and breathe a sigh of relief and declare this is AXION as it should be. But obviously, AXION ecosystem is bigger than that. So I think these guys are confusing their vision, and we need clarity about that. I think that's fundamental. Because it's going to be the world's best AXION ecosystem. That includes everything that they're going to be doing, not just siphoning off a separate project. So something important stuff there. Let me get the mouse working again. And So that's it there. So first time in AXION, the AXION team feels like we can look at the project and etc. and so forth. So we are more proud than ever to what we've built. AXION is a home. There will always be new developments, new features we can bring to AXION. So this is very positive. But I think they're confusing themselves with the projects and the ecosystem. But there's nothing that has to be happen in this order to make the project viable. The fact that we can saying that a core of AXION is feature complete does not mean that there's never anything more to develop at some point. So it's not just about developing AXION, which they can do little things here and there, but it's also about the ecosystem, and that's what I'm talking about mainly. So cool. At some point, the very first iPhone had to be declared feature complete in order to get it launched. AXION has been incubated for a year, and we must be proud to say it's nearly feature complete. There's always a room for AXION to grow, just as the next generation iPhone improved. There couldn't be an AXION Vision code without Vision 2.3.1, right? And what we will contain AXION Vision 4. Our focus now is on improving the front end of the website, releasing the new revised white paper, marketing AXION as a whole ecosystem, and that's where the confusion's coming in, right? So really, it's you've got a family of products now. Even if you market them separately, you need those financial linkages, the benefit linkages between them being very clear in the model. So building partnerships for both AXION and Launch Partner with other cryptos will find AXION to be an incredible ecosystem, doing more integrations with Polygon. It's all still in the works. So that's all very cool. But one thing we're sure of, AXION is a damn fine product, and we should all be proud of it and tell people what it's about. It's a project with the staking lifespan set to be a 15-year mark. There will always be more to do. From a tokenomics perspective, we believe we've reached a point that our entire team is proud of and happy with. There'll be less focus on the dev work and more focus on marketing partnerships and user onboarding. So I'm very happy with that last part. I do think that possibly features and benefits can be tweaked in the future in a new version. But the other big thing is, if it's the world's best AXION ecosystem, really needs to have those projects that are built separately and have clear relationships. And that's what I want to see a lot more about as well. So very, very cool. Let me get in here. I thought my old thing had died, but let's have a look. Oh, it's almost. I've got to put a new battery in this, so I'll do it afterwards because I'm almost finished, folks. Let me see if I can get to. Oh, that didn't work either. Almost. I haven't got any battery with me at the moment, unfortunately. Let me go back here. Let me get that on. Oh, I just about had it too. I just about had it. All right, so cool. Oblio says, I love what you say, how it is, and you bring up your concerns, Oblio says. Let me just, sorry, I can't put the messages on this thing. I believe that they want to keep the two projects separate. They can't be though in an ecosystem. There've got to be some connections there. Otherwise, that is a big concern. Yeah, we understand they're going to manage the project separate. They're going to run all that, but really there must be some linkages between them. Is what I'm talking about. Brian says, I believe they want to. Knightley says, I'm going to get some rest for the AMA tomorrow, guys. I think the team has a lot they aren't telling us yet, and it's going to be exciting. Don't let the spiders bite. Obviously says, Prana, that is the feeling I'm getting as well. A good Nightly says Nightly. So very, very cool. Well, there's some decent questions there. Get into the AMA. We're going to see what else they said. Hopefully they'll address a lot of these issues. I think that some of the announcements were somewhat confusing, and it's good to see them come fleshed it out. But I still think there's a little bit more to flesh out regarding the interconnectedness. If you don't think that's okay, if you think that's okay to be completely standalone as an AXION staker, you're wrong. You're going to be wrong. And I think that a lot of us can see that very clearly. And so we nearly have some clear linkages in between those projects. Very, very cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I don't even know how I'm going to end this live stream with a flat battery, but that's 1 hour and 3 minutes, folks. And yeah, take care out there. Hope you subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, of course, and I'll catch you in the next one. And I'll see you in the AMA, hopefully. Hopefully I'll be there too for that. So very cool. And yeah, I've got to switch this battery out for my thing. Bye for now.